Morning, everyone. Graduates, may I please have your attention? We're just going to show you on how you're going to walk on stage. The only thing you need to bring is your ticket that has a name. You don't have to bring your bag up. You can leave in your seat. So the Unisa staff will usher you forward. Please stand on the marker here. Hand in your white sitting card. Remove your mask facing this direction. Please smile. You will see a photographer waving a hand. Please do not wave back. He is only trying to get your attention. Okay, your name will be given back to you. You walk on the stage. There's a stool there in the center, and it's not for sitting. You're only gonna kneel, and the acting vice chancellor will confirm your degree. You'll make your way to the far end of the stage where you're gonna stand in front of the box. You're gonna take off your mask again, facing the crowd, smile, like how we're smiling too. You're gonna walk down the steps there. Ladies in heels, please be careful. You're gonna make your way to the far end of the hall where you're gonna do your third photo, which is a single portrait. After that, you're gonna make your way back to your seats. And for those graduates who are interested in MBA and MBR degree programs, they should see Aubrey at the back. He is from Unisa Graduate School of Business Leadership. He will assist you with more info. Thank you. Oh, one more thing, if you didn't order your stage photographs, that you can still do after the graduation. Thank you.
By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me this morning as the acting Vice-Chancellor, I congregate this ceremony, a congregation of the graduation ceremonies of the University of South Africa. I invite you to join me in a silent moment as we celebrate and give thanks to the qualifications we're conferring this morning. Thank you. You may be seated. The Chancellor in his absentia, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, the Vice-Chancellor and Principal of Unisa in his absentia, whom I'm acting in his behalf this morning, Professor Mandla Makanya, my colleagues on the stage, to the graduates, family members, parents, sisters, brothers, children, grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, loved ones, in the overflowing venue on my right-hand side, guardians, supporters, funders, Unisa alumni, and most importantly, to you, our graduating class of 2020. Good morning. Muluen Tabelang of one Dumelang, Khwemore Sanbonan. We observe all protocol. My name is Professor Tenjiwe Meiwa. I'm the Vice Principal responsible for research, postgraduate studies, innovation, and commercialization. And thank you, all of you, for making it this morning, for making this ceremony possible. I express my honor, accompanied by my colleagues on the stage, to act as the Vice-Chancellor this morning in his absentia. I'm honored to serve as delegated. He sends his apologies and congratulatory remarks to all of you and expresses his pride in you for your achievements. On stage, I have colleagues who shall be officiating this morning. On my extreme right, I have, on behalf of the registrar, who's the custodian of the qualifications and the certificates, you shall be receiving this morning, Mr. Huang. Next to Mr. Huang, we have the Acting Deputy Dean of the College of Accounting Sciences, Ms. Kandela. Across the empty chair, we have Professor, who's the head of department in the College of Economic and Management Sciences, Professor Makita. Next to her, I have Professor, who's the director in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Professor Mkandla. And just close by me here is Professor Ntombela, who's the school director in the College of Education. Behind her, I have Professor Machaisa, who's the head of department, the College of Education. And next to her is Dr. Petty, who is one of our key supporters, administrators in the region. Thanks, colleagues, for making it despite the circumstances and despite the weather and the very last day of us officiating. I don't take this for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, we are projecting this graduation ceremony this morning. So you're on TV. Ha ha ha, well done. And on the next hall, we have an overflown accompaniment by very important people who've supported you throughout the years, who continue to do so even this morning. We acknowledge you, Sanbonan. This ceremony that we're having this morning is the last ceremony of this season. Although it's not spring, but we often call this the spring graduation ceremonies, the series thereof. It's the 45th ceremony that we've had this season and the last one. We've had a number in Pretoria, Cape Town, and Durban as the last, between the 1st and 8th of December today. During this time, we've graduated a little more than 10,000 students, and we're proud of that. Only graduates who are receiving and being conferred the diplomas or degrees are allowed into the hall, as you can see, besides the officiating team, because, of course, of the reasons as we all know them. But remember that you are on TV, eh? So act the part. Take yourself seriously now that you're becoming some actresses and actors. We ensure that to the best of our ability, everybody is safe, hence the social distancing, of course, according to the protocol and compliance, and that the hall gets cleaned before you come in and as soon as you leave, deep cleaning that is. We sanitize and do all that we have to be doing. As will have been explained to you before, we're not going to be hooding. You have your hoods already on. I'll only be capping, acting in the stead of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mandla Makhanya. The registrar at the extreme end, who is in the registrar's stead, Mr. Huang, shall be next to you. So be aware of all that's going to happen. The reason I'm repeating this, knowing that it's been done a few minutes ago, is because of the yesterdays when we found that you continue to be, possible because of the nerves, one will understand, get distracted and do the unexpected. The certificates, ordinarily we will be issuing them today, but we're not doing so because of the protocol put on us. If you haven't received your certificate, you should be receiving it in courier in due course. Please ensure that you don't congregate within the hall, nor take pictures inside the hall, but outside of the hall, so that we ensure that we're as safe as possible can be. Remember to always maintain the social distancing and sanitize your hands quite frequently as expected of you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we mark the last day of a spring graduation season, the 45th one. Women and men that we have this morning in this hall, the reason they are here is because they are an embodiment and true expression of the fact of life that life ends when you stop dreaming. Hope starts when you stop believing. But all happens when you start acting. The reason that you're here is because you acted and acted as expected. The graduates we have this morning exemplify our Chancellor, His Excellency Thabo Mbeki's belief, and you are an embodiment indeed of what he subscribes to, which I believe is a recipe for success. When he says, open quotes, we should never become despondent just because the weather's bad, nor should we turn triumphalist because the sun shines, a close quote. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen who are accompanying me to officiate and ensure that we confer these degrees and diplomas this morning, our graduates have worked hard and stayed on the course as per Thabo Mbeki, our Chancellor's protagonist, believes in the fact that you work hard despite circumstances that present themselves to you. Hence today, you are at the height of your excellence. Demonstration of the zenith that you've come to the top of the mountain, of the road that you've walked. Today you reach one of your key important goals. Today you graduate. Today you become a future. Today we hand you over the baton in this stage. Handing over the baton, my language puts it quite well when it says, Inkunzi isematholeni. Cows become bulls, hence the expression that you, the future leaders, because of the work that you've done, we believe and hope that at Unisa, your exposure to what we rigorously put you through lead you to become true leaders, good managers, first and foremost of your own life, and you've demonstrated that by managing your studies this well. As a mark of respect, we are expecting everybody to honor the entire hour, a little minutes more, possible than that, to stay in the room until the end of the ceremony. It's a very short ceremony. This is the second part of the ceremony. The ceremony is made up of 6 parts, and the third part is upcoming, which is the most exciting part, wherein you now walk the red carpet. We've spent a lot of money actually hiring this hall. It doesn't come cheap, I must tell you that, especially during this, I don't want to say festive season because there's nothing festive about COVID having landed upon us, but this holiday season. So the reason we've done that is because we value as a unison, and we're one of only 2 universities in this country out of 26 who are holding graduations this season. Many are doing it online, but because you know how important you always and often online, we thought, no, we can't do this time around. We want to honor you in our presence and celebrate you with us. Hence, we're having these graduation ceremonies that amount to 45 So it's your moment. It's your experience. As you come up here, ensure that you face the audience and ensure that your pictures are good looking. You should be taking off your mask when you get here. And ensure there's nothing that's sticking between your teeth or anything that's sticking out of your nose. Just ensure that you're in order, because our cameras are very expensive, the 5 of them. We've spent a lot of money on these cameras because of you. So don't spoil it all. Ensure that 30 years from now, when your grandchildren ask, "How mkhulu, kwakwenze njani?" you'll be able to say, "It does look good indeed." So as I end this part of the 6 parts of this ceremony, we now get onto the 3rd part of the ceremony, which is the most exciting as we walk the graduation stage. We ensure that each person has his time till the end before the next one comes, because of how important you are, because of how hard you've worked. And we want to acknowledge that. So enjoy the moment. I'm now, ladies and gentlemen, going to call upon my colleagues who are clad in different colors that represent the colleges from which they come, to present the graduates and diplomats whose names appear on the program, as well as those that have managed to come this morning as a symbol of conferring the degrees to you. Colleagues, please present the graduates to me.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Grace Moodley for the degree of Doctor of Education. The candidate supervisor was Prof. P.L. Mabunda, and it is now my privilege to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In her thesis entitled Improving Curriculum Implementation and Coverage, Managers and Educators' Experiences of the Jiga Imfundo program in selected schools in the King Cetshwayo district, she employs a descriptive and interpretive strategy to investigate the program, focusing on the roles and experiences of educators and managers regarding the implementation process. Findings reveal that although the majority of managers and educators consider the program as a useful intervention, resources, support, monitoring, and school contextual factors hamper its implementation. Using the findings from interviews triangulated with literature and observations, she develops a model for the implementation of the program. The study contributes to theories and knowledge on curriculum change and implementation interventions, and the model could benefit practice in schools in the selected district and others, and provide recommendations to policy makers. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Grace Moodley the degree of Doctor of Education.
Now you've got to take off that mask. Doctor of Education on Grace Moodley. Well done, congratulations.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, The following candidates receive the degree of Master of Science. Tambaletu Peterson Mukafula.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Education. Benedicta Nonjabulo Mkhize. Brightness Nogukhanya Gumede. Kriara Debinarain. Yashir Hemraj. Tobile Cynthia Mwabe. Sanelisiwe Present Manyati. Dombizodwa Nogwazi Mthetho. Kavisha Governor. Bongepiwe Princess Ndaba. Terin Lee Yedon. Precious Sbongile Moloi. Kolani Ngumalo. Nokubusiswa Nothando Ncube. Gladness Glenrose Bongiwe Bhengu. Nolosi. Philisiwe Happiness Sikobi. Thokozani Londeka Patricia Blose. Silindile Witness Tembe. Angelique Gengedin. Thandazile Angel Mthalane. Ibambe nje. Nompumelelo Zulu. That is it. Khethiwe Hlengiwe Khumalo. Nozipho Bridget Msomi. Zamisile Mzolo. Puluso Mokele. Nontobeko Brenda Ntlumayo. Zama Nkomo. Aida Khulumelaphi Buthelezi. Ukhuluma ngemask, uthatha isithombe ukhuluma ngemask. Iphingisisi. Talenta Brightness Nyawose. Ntombiningi Priscilla Hlongwa. Nomathemba Sindisiwe Hlatshwayo.
Sengizo vala matanga mengizo phumelela Sengizo vala matanga mina ngizo phumelela Sengizo vala matanga mina ngizo
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Nontlatla Mdamba. Yusuf Abed. Nozipho Muyataza. Phumla Bridget Mdabe. Slindile Pel Ntodzake. Sivana Naidu. Shakir Piebai. Qibakazi Maqelana. Hazel Londiwe Mwabe.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Accounting Sciences. Sure. Ntsingiselo Sinobom Mketo. Lenita Daniram. Smangele Nontobego Hessen. Chanel Ramsunder. Ketoguhle Emmanuel Gosnati Mbili. I'm sorry? Oh, I beg your pardon. He is the former SRC, KwaZulu-Natal Regional SRC Secretary General. Well done. Bongiwe Sylvia Dlamini. Congratulations. And lastly, Jablisile Francisca Mbete.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, Blessing Khululekane Mwabe receives the degree of Bachelor of Laws. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidate receives the degree of Baccalaureus Theologiae. Sfiso Africa Kele.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Nondumiso Namile Buthelezi.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be introduced to you. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive postgraduate diploma in College of Economic and Management Sciences. Tandeka Patricia Msweli. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be introduced to you. Swongile Nonkululeko Mabaso. Welile Margaret Hlongwa. Stembile Promise Mkize. Samkeliswe Charlotte Udinga.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Kanisani Aubrey Kumar.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Kutala Melapi receives the degree of Bachelor of Education.
We've had to wait for the last candidate to sit down before I render congratulatory message. Reason being, each student to us is as important as every other, from the first to the last one. It's an honor this morning, ladies and gentlemen, to offer the University of South Africa's 2020 spring season graduation's last congratulatory remarks. We've presented to you this morning graduates from the colleges of Accounting Sciences, Economic and Management Sciences, College of Education, College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, College of Science, Engineering and Technology, and the College of Law. Those were the colleges that were represented this morning. During this graduation season, one of our hardest so far, I want to stamp your authority in terms of your identity as a continued Unisan, or welcome you into the club of Unisans. As an alumni, we refer to you as a Unisan, a select few. You're part of an illustrious 10,000 plus students we graduated this season, but of many millions of Unisans, alumni of the university. We have chapters around the world as a university that's not just only on the African soil, but it's an international university. Just only our registration for 2020, we're almost 400,000, which is part of the Unisans in making, as well as Unisans established, making a multi-million Unisans across the world. We've joined a club of very important people, as I said earlier, that we call it Unisans. It's a very important identity. You've joined a club of Tata Nelson Mandela, a sage, club of a current president who's leading the country quite so eloquently, Cyril Ramaphosa. You've joined the club of Trevor Manuel, who was on the news this morning, not for so good reasons. If you follow news, I hope you do. We expect you to do. You joined the club of Sizwe Nxasana, one of the very leading chartered accountants this country has ever seen, who's led F&B in a way none other has led before. You've joined the club of the likes of Tito Mboweni, Minister of Finance. You've joined the club of Governor Khanyago, Governor of the Reserve Bank. Wow, what a club that you've joined. I'm yet to see a university that prides itself with such alumni. So welcome to the club as a Unisan. We hope that your status shall be firmly endorsed by the way that you shall be holding the university flag. Hold it up high. and hold it with integrity. We hope that you shall come back to the university in various ways, even at Dr. Grace this morning. Well done, by the way, Dr. Okay? We're not done with you. We expect books, papers, we expect you to supervise students henceforth. We expect to have an association with you going forward. Those that got diplomas, although some of you will be having diplomas of their first degree, but we expect you to come for further studying your higher degrees. Those who got junior degrees to get senior degrees and higher degrees. So we're not done with you yet. Come back. Come back and enjoy the Unisa warmth. The graduation this morning, ladies and gentlemen, is a culmination of your perseverance, a culmination of your hard work, a culmination of your character, your strength. It's a zenith. It's the top of the mountain in this path that demonstrates your hard work. Congratulations. You deserve it. You've worked hard as a Unisa student. You know how hard it is to be a distance learning student. And it calls for independence, for discipline. It calls for foregoing a whole lot number of things. It calls for when your peers, family members go to certain functions and to enjoy themselves socially, you've got to draw back because you have assignments, portfolios, chapters to submit. And of course, it has paid off. Hence, you hear this morning. In my language, we say, Vuna okutshalileyo, meaning from planting you sure shall reap if you plant well. You've planted well. So graduates, you deserve to be proud. And family members, supporters in the adjacent hall, you deserve to be proud. And I know that a number of family members are finally saying, hayi baze baqede bakithi. Yo! They've supported you throughout, you throwing papers around, sometimes quoting us, saying that we've asked for chapters and we have given you deadlines and assignments and expert portfolios when we haven't, because we're just running away from your chores. Please give them back their chores now. The studies are done. We hope that you, with the exception of Dr. Mutlu, you're registered with us, all of you, right now. If you're not, that's criminal. You should be on a book still. Till you get red gowned. In our aspiration at Unisa, we hope that, actually we know, we're adamant, that we've instilled in you lifelong learning. Hence, we expect at some point that you get red gowned. If you haven't gotten red gowned, we haven't at Unisa achieved wanting to make you what we want to make you. So you owe us. Pinky promise. Come. Good. I have witnesses, my colleagues here are witnesses. We will hold you to that. We have your addresses. We know where you stay. We'll stalk you. Come back. But aside that, during your time at Unisa, we had intended to instill in you respect, care. Care for not just only your studies, but for other people. Respect not only for your studies, but for other facets of life. The ecosystem, the nature, education, instilling good thinking and critical thinking in you, as well as respect for all kinds of people of all walks of life, irrespective of who they are. We know that while we relate education to you, but ingrained in that were these values that we wanted to instill in you, not just only the qualification, but that even with that qualification, that you take it back and that it benefits not just only you through the salary you shall earn or you're earning or continue to earn or improve your position, but that people of this country, of this land, of this beautiful continent benefit from your education. If you don't do that, you will have failed a bigger plan we call the National Development Plan, which seeks that education changes lives, endorsed by a sage, Tata Mandela. We hope that we've not only instilled these values in you, but that you shall live them out as you walk different paths of your life, and indeed, in doing so, celebrate Chancellor Thabo Mbeki, His Excellency's legacy. He has a legacy that's celebrated throughout the world, hence just this year, at Unisa, we instituted a school that we call a School of Thabo Mbeki Leadership and Good Governance. I quote Chancellor Thabo Mbeki when he says in his belief, I open quotes, I think you are a much happier person if you say, even if I get involved in politics, I'm only doing so in order to serve the people. You'll sleep much easier, much better, not serving yourself, but having done your best to serve other people, your people. Even if you've not succeeded, at least you've tried. You haven't stolen anything, and you haven't robbed your people. I close quotes. Not my words, it's your Chancellor's words. And he sends me this morning this message to you to say, stay good, be good in your ways, and defy what we're seeing currently in this country, the level of corruption, embezzlement of resources. As a Unisa, we don't expect that of you. If anything, we expect you to live out the legacy, the principles of Thabo Mbeki, as expressed in the quotation I've just shared with you now. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude these congratulatory remarks, which is the last but two of this session's facets, I want to relay thanksgiving to the Lord my God first, who in 1 Thessalonians says in chapter 5 to verse 18, Amen, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will, whatever happens, and He shall cover you up. And it's God's will for you in Christ Jesus, a close quote. And I am of the belief that all religions actually subscribe to this. I would like to get you to stand up now. Stand up. Okay, let's just stand up now. Be on your feet. Face that way. That's the hall. You're not going to have to do this. Is my final 2020 ceremony. Behind that wall, you have the people we referred to as your supporters, who've supported you throughout, and you now expect you to rub their back just like they've been rubbing your back all this time. Just say thank you to them. They'll be seeing you because we're streaming. Just say thank you. Wave your hand and say thank you. Some of them are actually taxpayers who've contributed to your NSFAS and Funds-Lushaka bursaries, and we thank them for that. There's nothing that's called free education. You may name it thus, but it's because of people who've got to let go of their salaries to make you walk the graduation stage through their taxes. Face the stage now, graduates. Here I have a very small cohort of my colleagues who accompany me this morning as an acting Vice Chancellor, who represent an entirety of almost 3,800 staff of Unisa, who provide your tuition, supervision, administration, relative to almost 500,000 students that the university has. That's a very small number. And I hope in your hearts you forgive us for all the mishaps you've had. We're an extremely huge university. We call it a mega university, with a very small number of staff. Possible that's why, without actually coming to defense, we have the kind of slips that we have. But just say thank you to this group of colleagues, some of whom most of whom actually are not here, but are represented by all the colors of the colleges, as well as administrators. You may be seated. I also want to thank the marketing colleagues who make this happen. You see this hour and a half, or a little less than that, 1 hour, 15 minutes probably, takes a lot of hard work behind the scenes. I have to thank my colleagues who range from colleagues from the marketing department, corporate affairs, estates, conference, organizing colleagues, the registrar's office with the custodians of the degrees we conferred this morning and diplomas, the multimedia team that we brought down from Pretoria to serve you, otherwise you wouldn't be hearing me right now, no taking the pictures, who've worked throughout the entire December despite the challenges. It's the same team. I say to them, I don't want to be on the drugs that you're in, that you take to withstand all these graduation ceremonies. But thank you, colleagues. We don't take this for granted. In my language, you say, umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. Meaning it is because of people's service that we make these qualifications happen. And we expect you to take the baton forward, as I said earlier. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe. Graduates, do good. Call people out if they don't do good. We expect you to do that. That's what citizenry means. It doesn't mean I'm not involved and therefore I'm not wrong. Silence means you are part to the corruption. Know that. As we end, we're going to sing the national anthem, which I expect all of you to know, even if you're not South African, by the fact that you're getting this degree from the only university in this country that has a burden of carry the country name. It's only us who carry the country name. Oh, what a responsibility. Hence, we end in the national anthem. You shall be on your feet as we end in the national anthem, and remain on your feet as I dissolve the congregation and get the procession to leave the hall while you're on your feet. And then leave and celebrate in style but responsible. And remember to hashtag us, because we're recording everything. Our archives are actually awaiting all the celebrations. Hashtag us. I want to see what you're doing. And do all the ethical stuff, of course, within the curfew that our Unisa Cyril Ramaphosa announced on Monday. Thank you. Dr. Grace, you shall join us at the end, joining the procession, okay? By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me this morning, I declare this congregation of the graduation ceremony of South Africa dissolve the congregation of the University of South Africa.